say this often, and I believe it firmly, the moral arc of the universe, as Dr. King said, is long, but it bends towards justice. And we, social justice activists, progressive legislators, are part of bending that arc. And the good news is that new generations of women and men are rising that endorse and support women's reproductive freedom.
For women, so much of our life revolves around our reproductive freedom and rights, and it's so important.
Reproductive rights, access to affordable quality childcare, paid family leave,
your ability to go to college, your ability to get a job. And if you want a thriving economy, then you want women to have autonomy over their decisions that they make about their bodies.
Our economic success depends on being able to control our fertility and decide when we want to have families.
And it's not just women's lives, of course. It's their children, it's their husbands, it's their partners, it's their parents.
Those are real lives that are being impacted by this. And it was important for me, when there was an open seat in my district, to step up and be that voice for people who don't always have a voice in our state capitol.
I have seen the growth over my political career of the organizing that's been done by the right wing to stir the pot to where women become hated if they seek to exercise their autonomy.
Oh my gosh, it makes me so mad, because it's like the majority of the people who are legislating this issue don't even understand how women's bodies work. They don't understand the challenges of having to manage pregnancies and reproductive freedom their entire life. It's mostly men.
When I was first elected 8 years ago, it was really difficult to talk about these issues. People didn't want to work on them. Sometimes I would come up with an idea for a bill and people would actually laugh at me or tease me.
For a long time, women in particular have been told not to speak up about what they need. And I really feel like that what that has taught us is that you will not get your needs met.
You got, 15 men legislators telling women to sit down and shut up and get out of my space. And there are consequences.
When I'm talking to my colleagues, who most of them don't agree with me, but I'm able to connect the dots for them and tell them the real life stories that are impacted by the decisions that they make every day.
Not everybody who runs for office and says, I am pro-choice, really feels it in their heart. And so holding people's feet to the fire is also part of the job.
A lot of the work that you do in the minority party is making sure that you can push back against bad legislation, and there is no shortage of that.
We saw 2 bills that were aimed at targeting women's abortion rights in Georgia just this past session.
We're not in 1950 anymore. Thank goodness.
We are coming in and we're not doing respectability politics. We will not shrink away about what we believe in, and it has given other legislators more courage. So courage is contagious.
In the past year, we have 3 new women serving in the Georgia Senate, and so our numbers are increasing.
In 2016, Maryland passed the Contraceptive Equity Act, which I was happy to sponsor. And then in 2018, we actually expanded that to allow for 12 months of birth control dispensing. And I was really proud to see a number of states follow suit and replicate our work.
I've had the opportunity to see newly emerging voices in legislatures around the country that are battling to promote a progressive pro-choice agenda.
This is not just an issue about women. This is an issue about equality. It's an issue about justice. It's an issue about making sure that we are providing opportunities for everyone to participate in the process.
My bill, HB 2222, which guarantees all female prisoners in Arizona unlimited access to feminine hygiene products necessary for their periods.
Every year that I've been in office has been trying to get long-acting reversible contraception covered. We bring it up in debate and it gets voted down on a party line vote every time. This year, we got it into the budget and it passed.
We passed legislation that would address postpartum depression. We passed legislation that legalized midwives in the state of Maryland. The most wonderful thing I have seen is not individual policies, but rather a change in the culture in the legislature.
We have decades upon decades upon decades of women organizing, and I cannot underscore enough the importance of building progressive voices in the state legislatures across the country and working in a strategic way together to move the needle on public opinion and public policy, and the fight goes on.